Thank you. As they say, I am running for U.S. Congress against Vic Snyder. Oh, I see y'all know who he is then, huh? Well, good evening. Good evening. Again, I'm glad to be here. Thanks to Nick for putting all of this together and giving me the opportunity to speak. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We, the people, secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. I thought that it was maybe my copy of the Constitution that had these words. Surely I would find the right copy that said, "We the representatives of the United States, in order to give the citizens of the United States a more perfect union, justice, domestic tranquility." I searched every copy in my house, even got online, and could not find it. You know why? Because the government, in all of its power, did not give us the right to a more perfect union. They did not give us the freedom we boast. We gave them the power they abused. In his most brilliant work, Thomas Jefferson wrote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers from the consent of the consent of the governed. Clearly, the United States government was not established to rule, it was established to protect. It was not established to tell us how to live, but to keep others from telling us how to live." If it was a ruler we sought, we would have maintained our unity with the crown. Over the last few generations, it would appear that those elected to office have forgotten that simple phrase, consent of the governed. They have passed laws which increase our dependency on government, which increase our national debt, and which decrease our overall freedoms. They have placed upon us and our children a burdensome legacy of ill-spoken words and broken commitments. Today, our government seeks to laden our debt even further with a health care overhaul that the people neither want nor can afford. For those of you that have not seen it, this is one copy of the health care bill. Okay? I'm going to set it down there because it's kind of heavy. I don't think that I could hold it all this time. But they claim that the government will be a competitive entity, yet the primary legislation that they are considering on page 16, if you look, says that private insurers cannot open up any policies after 1 year of this plan, putting the government in control of your health care without your consent. And to add injury to insult, our reps don't even seem to understand why we don't want this plan. Just today, my opponent, Representative Vic Snyder, at a healthcare forum at UCA said that, and this is his words, Representative Snyder said he doesn't understand why we call this socialized medicine or socialized healthcare. Well, let me help him to understand. Socialism is a collective ownership of property and goods. And when government owns our health care, there is no better word than socialism. And to make it perfectly clear, we do not want, nor will we accept government control over our lives, let alone our personal health care. Now, if that wasn't enough, Our president gives power to czars. Oh, wait a minute, hold it. You cannot use that term. They're special advisors. But they're neither elected nor do they fall under the purview of congressional oversight and do not require Senate confirmation. Without the consent of the governed, our president has placed the power of governing into the hands of those not meant to hold it. In 1987, President Ronald Reagan stood before a wall and sought the true liberation of Berlin. In a line made famous for its call to freedom, to tear down the walls of oppression or repression, the president demanded, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Unfortunately, walls have been built here in America on a foundation of arrogance with the bricks of repression cemented in the idea that government knows best. We must seek freedom from the bondage of a government, whether it be the local government or the federal government, who seeks to tell us what cars we can drive, what house we can buy, and what doctors we can see. We have it within our power to tear down the walls erected by a growing and consuming government and find true liberation, true freedom, and true security recognized and protected by the founders of our nation. We must seek, from this moment forward, not to build walls of repression, but bridges of opportunity. Not barriers to progress, but roads to prosperity. But who directs prosperity? Who decides who achieves success? Of course, we do. Not the bureaucrats in Washington, not the Congress, not even the president. It is we, the people. In Common Sense, Thomas Paine writes that government, even in its best state, is but a necessary evil. In its worst state, an intolerable one. For when we suffer, our calamity is heightened by reflecting that we furnish the means by which we suffer. It is essential to the future of our nation that we, the people, maintain our control. We can remind our representatives, our city council, our senators that we pay their salary. They work for us, that we furnish the means. We must realize that our desire for our America is within our reach, that we hold the power within ourselves, and that we furnish the means. And that we will send a representative to Congress who does not tell us what the world should look like, but who listens to what we desire our nation to be, what we seek for our freedoms and for our own security. A representative with our values, our principles, speaking with your voice. I want to be that representative. As they said, I'm not a politician. I'm just a common man. I work a 40-hour job. I served in the military. I know what it means to fight for freedom. And I am going to do that. People keep telling me that Representative Snyder is not beatable. Well, I disagree with them. I believe that he can be beaten, but I'm going to need your help.